What's up, guys? Esteem here from Pro Physique. Today what I want to talk about is body image and dating. So hey guys, hope you're all having a wonderful day. I hope you enjoyed my sweet old man jiu-jitsu I'm a dork shirt today. Switching it up. I know I don't normally wear shirts about jiu-jitsu and stuff because I feel like it's kind of douchey, but this is also dorky, so I'm all about it. Honestly, I love doing jiu-jitsu too, so fuck it, whatever. But odd question, odd topic today, very different from what I would normally talk about. Normally like, fuck, dating, what? But let me explain to you guys real quick because I think it's gonna make a lot of sense. Now, I had a client today, male client, talking about, hey, I started dating this person. I really like this person. They're successful, they're beautiful. I love spending time with them, but I'm having some issues in a certain avenue with them. As I'm getting leaner, as I'm getting in better shape, it seems that that is bringing up issues with their own self-esteem, self-worth, and body image. Now, very, very kind of hard thing to deal with, right? They said, I know that you work with a lot of people, and a lot of women in particular, Stephen. How often do you have these people that are coming up and saying, hey, I'm having these issues with my body image and how I feel about my body? Well, the truth of the matter is it's kind of all the time, right? And so there's a lot of things that I think that we need to talk about in this. It's a real onion, right, Shrek? But it's a difficult one to peel. This is not an easy one. When we talk about things like body image, it can be so multifaceted that there's never just a one size fits all. But I think that it's important to talk about. So essentially, if anyone else is in that same boat and you're having those same kinds of issues, let's talk about it, because I myself have been out on dates and been out seeing women, and not that I'm like that. I'm a solid. I've been told I'm a solid 8. One time, ha, yeah. But I've definitely been told by women out on dates where it's like, hey, like I looked at your pictures and it really made me kind of self-conscious. And that's kind of puts me in an awkward, I'm like, sorry. But the truth of the matter is that you don't have anything to apologize for. If you are pursuing the things that are important to you, there's nothing to apologize for. Whew, that's our number one, our main goal, right? There's no reason for any of you to feel guilty because you are pursuing your passions or the things that are important to you. Now, that sounds selfish, but we have to be selfish to a point, especially when we're dating. So it wouldn't be a very realistic or a cool thing for someone to expect me to be in less or worse shape, right? Because they're feeling bad about themselves and then putting that kind of on me. We have to understand that our body image, the way that we feel about ourselves, that's on us. Like, it's on me how I feel about myself. At the end of the day, perspective determines reality, right? And so there are some things that I can do to help with that. I can get a little bit leaner. I can get a little bit stronger. I can put a little bit more time into making sure I don't have a fucking neck beard, right? Whoops. But like, so those are all things that we can do. So yes, we're all busy. Yes, we all have a lot of things that we want to do that are important to us. Take time inventory, find time that we can manage, free time to start pursuing the things that are important to us. We will make time for the things that we love, for the things that are important to us, that we're really passionate about. We have to, right? Life gets really shitty if we don't. So I would encourage you that, like, yes, absolutely, do the outside and the external things to help improve that as well, 100%. Yes, if we're uncomfortable with our weight, let's start paying attention to our macros, let's start tracking our diet. Let's start making some time to be a little bit more active, whether that's weights, whether that's cardio, whatever it might be. Let's do something to get some calorie expenditure going on. Let's start paying attention to our dietary habits, making sure we're getting enough fiber, making sure we're getting enough micronutrients, that we're managing our stress and sleep. Absolutely, fuck yeah, let's do that shit, because that stuff all matters and it helps to improve our quality of life in general, right? when I have more energy, I feel better. When my energy is nice and even throughout the day, I just feel better. The day goes better. Like I'm fucking like, ooh, yes, right? Like those are good things that happen. So, fuck, I'm dorky. But like, so yes, let's absolutely pay attention to those external things. Like if we can get a little bit leaner, right? That can help, right? And it's not necessarily that being leaner makes us any more attractive or worthwhile or whatever the fuck it may be, right? But if our ideal of attractive is us a bit leaner, and now we fall in line with that, that can help. That can help a little bit sometimes too. So sometimes, yes, the external factors can be important to get in line, right? Yes, absolutely, you're correct. We want to be healthy. Healthy is a range, my friends. So stage lane's not healthy. Let's be real here. It's fucking, that's way the fuck over there. Okay? And there's definitely a line of obesity that's way over there, and that's not healthy either. We see metabolic diseases, diabetes, atherosclerosis, all kinds of other health issues that are associated with that end of the spectrum, right? That end of the spectrum has a lot of hormone issues, hair falling out, bone density issues, and a ton of other stuff as well. So either way out there, not good. We want to be in healthy, at least for the majority of our lives, right? Healthy. So remember, there's a range. We can be over towards this end and healthy. We can be over towards this end and healthy, right? There's a range. So yes, let's do some of the external things that matter and help. But let's also talk about the internal things that matter, right? Let's talk about the things inside of us that are going to help as well. Because at the end of the day, my perspective about myself determines my reality about myself, okay? The way that I look at myself is very important. So paying attention to things like self-talk, the way that I talk to myself or about myself. I am all about that, self-depreciating humor. But at the end of the day, I have a lot of pride in who I am as a man, who I am as a person. Doesn't matter, right? I work hard. I'm true to who I am, right? I'm in good shape. I pursue my passions, those things that I'm passionate about and that I love. I love my life, right? I love my job. And I think I'm a pretty decent looking dude. So I think that in and of itself is big, right? We're paying attention to building ourselves up, because just like we don't want to be around people that break us down all the time, we don't want to be around the person that breaks ourselves down all the time. We need to lift ourselves up just as much as we need the people around us that we love and that we allow into our lives to lift us up and to make us better, right? So we don't want to only focus on trying to have other people lifting us up and making us better. We want to actively engage in that role as well. So maybe self-talk is a big one that we can pay attention to. The way that we speak to ourselves, the way that we think about ourselves. That can be a huge benefit in terms of how we perceive ourselves in this world, right? And when we improve our perception of ourselves, life gets better, okay? Maybe part of it is getting away from some of the unrealistic and unhealthy body image ideas and standards that are thrown at us. Maybe we don't need to watch things like Top Model. Maybe we don't need to follow a bunch of competitors that are only posting pictures from photo shoots and when they're stage lean and all this other crazy shit, right? Because that creates issues, that subconsciously it tells us that that's what maybe we need to be doing, right? Because they're getting a lot of attention. They're getting a lot of this, they're getting a lot of that. And unrealistically, we can equate that to love and fulfillment and a lot of other things, okay? And that in and of itself can create some issues for us. We don't want to get into that end of the spectrum either. We want to make sure that we have realistic body image ideals, right? So the truth of the matter is that the majority of our country is overweight or obese, okay? So what realistic body image should be very different from what I think it is for a lot of us. And then the last thing that I really want to get into is let's not be afraid to find somebody to talk to. And I don't mean my fucking buddy, I don't mean Paul or my friend Joe Schmo, whoever it might be. I mean, let's find a qualified, competent professional to talk to if we're really having issues. We should not ever be afraid to seek out the necessary help to improve our lives. I know that mental health is a huge stigma, and a lot of people are afraid to admit that we have these problems. We're afraid to admit that we have body dysmorphia, that is so overwhelming that it's causing us to have an eating disorder, or it's like infecting our daily lives, right? We need to be able to be comfortable seeking help. It is okay. Here's the worst thing that ever happens when you go out to seek help from a professional. Hey man, these are pretty normal people issues. Here's some coping mechanisms and some way that we can start dealing with them and we get better. Here's the other end of the spectrum. Hey, there's something actually that's legitimately wrong with us. Let's start dealing with this and start getting better. Notice how getting better is still at the end of both of those. We don't want to allow ourselves to just continue to live in these unhealthy thought processes and unhealthy relationships. We want to address them and get better, guys. So at the end of the day, if it's a real issue, go find somebody to talk to, guys. That's to encourage the people you love that are struggling to find somebody to talk to, whether that's a therapist or counseling, whatever it might be, because it needs to be addressed, right? And guys, remember that if it's not you but someone you love, yes, we can be supportive, yes, we can lend an ear, but at the end of the day, it's something we want to encourage them to take ownership of and to actively help, get the problem solved. So that's it, guys. I'm going to leave it there. I know this was a little bit different of a topic for me today. Hopefully you still enjoyed it and got a lot out of it, guys. Have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you soon.